Welcome to King's Cages Network News. I'm your host, Kim, and today I'm joined by Zach Marcus, one of the owners of Todd Marcus Birds Exotic in Delran, New Jersey. Not only is he running a successful bird store, he's also the inventor of Parrot Safe Candles, which is exactly what this episode is about today. So Zach, who do we have here today with us?
So here on my left, I have Capey, my Cape Parrot. He's my little 7-year-old here. And then I have Godric. He's my 8-year-old green wing.
Awesome.
Hi, Godric.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Baby. Love scratches.
They're very loving birds.
So today we're here to talk about your candles that have really been great in the industry. They sell wonderful here. We have customers that love all the scents that you come out with. They're amazing because it's the only candle on the market that's bird safe.
Yes.
So what were your inspirations for your candles?
Yeah, so, growing up in the bird industry and having this awesome bird store that my father created, throughout time, you could not, burn candles if you own birds or have a bird. So for all these years, for decades, customers were like, well, there'd be a percentage that we'd lose sales on. Mm-hmm. And not just a sale, but the opportunity that a person has, that ability to be able to bond with a bird that's like no other animal, right?
Right.
So it just came to pass that looking into it, many years, being able to figure out, okay, what's not safe about the candles, what is safe, and throwing that together, we were able to create something that actually was safe, laboratory tested, tested by the Avian specialty vets, and
awesome.
became a great product. So
I know when I adopted Penny, who's a sun conure, I was a little bummed out that I had to kind of change my whole lifestyle. Yeah. I couldn't use certain cooking ware, and I also couldn't burn candles, which I burn candles every room. I have a wax melt or a candle. So for a good 3 years, I didn't have anything until you came out with these candles. And now I'm so glad that I have them. We have a couple questions that we want to ask because it's a very controversial product, but we ensure that everybody is safe buying these because not only have you done the testing, you took the time, years to go through it and make sure that everything's safe, but your first priority is the health of the birds.
100%.
So the candles are secondary, but it's wonderful that now we can incorporate both into everybody's life. You have a good smelling home and a bird.
Absolutely.
So what is the difference that makes your candles safe on the market for the avian life?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So there's multiple levels on what makes it safe, some not as important as others. So to start out with, you do have your wick here. Now, this wick, there's a lot of other candles that have similar wicks. They're safe. This is just pure soy wax infused with paper. So there's no other threadings that help it burn slower, that gives off a little bit more residue in the air, into the atmosphere, as well as any toxicity. And then it comes down to the wax, right? That's the next step. So people could call their candles, they could say that they're soy wax, soy-based candles, and all they have to do is have 51% soy, and legally to say that they're soy candles. And then what they do is they mix paraffin wax into it. All right, now that's petroleum-based wax, so it's a lot cheaper. Also, a lot more crap going in the air and toxic. It is very toxic. It's not good for us. And yet we're lighting all these candles every day. So with my candles, they are truly 100% soy wax. There's no additives. There's no UV blockers. So with my candles here, you see that they're white, but if they are left under the light here over time or in front of the sun, in front of a window, they're going to yellow.
Right.
They're going to turn real ugly. And so with Yankee candles, candle manufacturers like that, they put a UV blocker into the wax. That makes it so that the wax doesn't yellow within the these the lights. Your lights indoors, as well as the UV rays from outside from your windows. So my candles will turn ugly over time if left out, because I'm not putting all these toxic additives and chemicals in there. It's a very, very bad stuff, and yet we're here, most people breathing it in all the time.
Of course,
so that's why it's so deadly for the birds. And then the next portion that is actually the most crucial is what makes the scent. All right. So you can't. There's a lot of essential oils that are very toxic still, or irritative. Not as much toxic, but irritative to the birds,
Right.
as well as to us. So
To
you
us,
can't you
too.
can't burn it.
Like with the plugins. When
Yeah.
you walk into somebody's house and they have the plugins,
Yeah.
it's so strong it burns your eyes, it hurts your lungs.
Yes.
And when you walk into my house or even to our office here, we always have your candles burning. You don't get that overwhelming smell.
Yeah.
It's a very
no,
nice,
absolutely.
clean smell or whatever festive scent you're burning at that time.
No, and with that point being said too, I have a lot of customers that are sensitive. They'll get headaches, so
Yeah.
they don't do any candles.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll come back and they'll say, Zach, I can't believe it. Your candles, I could burn and I'm not having those migraines from it.
Right.
So that's pretty impressive. That's
It is.
not something that I tried for. It just so happens that going the safest route is the better route for everyone.
That's
so.
true. And it's plus too because Godric and Capey are on the packaging.
Yes.
They're your real inspiration.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
That's why they had to be on the show. How can your customers be sure that the candles are avian safe?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So, starting out, researching and going through between the whole process from wick to the soy blend to the scent, the chemical makeup which makes the scent. I've had this all laboratory tested.
Okay.
So that's been sent out. Also got even the European approval for
Wow,
it, which is
that's
very strict if anyone knows that.
It is very hard to get.
Yes.
Extremely.
So, but not so having a laboratory tested, as well as after that, sending it out to Dr. Susan Clubb, which is one of our nation's leading avian veterinarians.
Yeah,
She's amazing. And yeah, after seeing all of that, she loved it. I sent a whole bunch down for her to check out.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, so it really kind of took off from there once I, got that approval with everything. And of course, I've been already burning these, with my birds as well as, also, start out in my store.
Right.
And, just in the back and knowing that nothing, there was no issues, nothing happening. And of course I didn't test it on them. I, first got the approval and just, what, I'm going to put my own product for my own birds
Your own
first and see where it
livestock.
goes from there. 'Cause my number one concern is the bird's health, and this is just something to be able to, allow that person to own a candle, what they've wanted. And surprisingly, people are diehard candle lovers.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So, and this has been an amazing journey to.
You found a niche that the avian community couldn't have.
Correct. Yeah, that
So
was
now
a need.
you added a need for the avian community. They can have a nice smelling home. They can burn candles. They can have the relaxing sense of all the essential oils you use, and the joy and love of their bird, knowing that they're safe and they're not going to be harmed either.
Absolutely.
That's
Yes.
great. I mean, the one question we get customers calling Kings all the time saying, how do I know that these candles are safe? And my first response is, if you go into Zach's store, Todd Marcus, Birds Exotic, they have them burning. This is their livelihood. This family has put their blood, sweat, and tears into this business for years, 2 generations now. And they're not going to risk, one, a life of any bird, but 2, their livelihood for a candle.
Yeah, definitely. None of this would matter. I mean, my number one priority is
the birds.
The bird store. The birds, my family business, that's primarily what I do. And this is a nice secondary thing to be able to go along with that and, to be able to give to the customers and have that option.
Yeah, no, it's
definitely wouldn't ever sacrifice
your livelihood.
My livelihood over a secondary.
Over a candle. Yeah, and the candles are great.
Thank you.
I can't. They're so good. Zach, is there anything you would like to add about these candles and wax melts that we haven't covered yet?
Absolutely. So I got a couple things coming up. I do have a way for the wax melts portion to be able to lengthen the time of the smell for that. You essentially will be just adding a couple drops of something in there, and that way you're not constantly burning through wax melts as much, because when
cool.
when the wax melt here, regardless of once it's burnt up, it's not depleting
Correct.
You know, kind of like let's recycle a bit. Let's add a little bit of.
Awesome.
You know,
That would be really cool because I thought that a couple of times myself. I would burn them, and then one square I think lasts about 4 hours. I get a nice scent of about 4 or 5 hours out of it. So then I add another one the next day when I have to use it. So that would be cool if we could just add a drop or two of that oil, recycle that soy candle.
right? Yeah.
That's awesome.
So so that's in the works. And then another great thing is, you know, not everyone has birds, right? I have believe it or not, I have a lot of customers that don't own birds that are buying from me.
Okay.
And sometimes they don't even own animals in the first place, which is really neat. But I'm coming out with a pet safe candle line.
Okay.
So this is just general. This is for, you know, the other store owners that don't really deal with birds, but you know, they do realize the same thing. They need a pet safe candle.
Yeah, human safe candle.
Yeah, human safe candle. And this is going to be something that could, you know, easily fit in that realm in the whole pet industry.
Yeah.
So that will be coming out here hopefully by December.
That's great.
Yeah.
The other thing that you introduced to us that we've been selling like crazy are these covers for the candles.
Yes.
They're awesome because they're safe if your bird gets curious, because we all know that parrots or all types of avian life, they're super curious and very smart. So they will look at that candle and try to get to it, maybe. But this will help protect that. I have a couple people who bought them not because of their birds, but their grandchildren. They didn't want their grandchildren getting into it. They like burning the candle, but they were a little hesitant to have them around. So now this keeps curious little fingers and little minds out of the candle.
Absolutely, yes. It's just another way of adding that extra layer of protection, burning a candle, regardless of, like you said, having pets or not.
Yeah.
Just even little kids around.
A little safe.
So, yeah, you know, bird flies in, it's just hitting this. They're not going to go into the candle,
right?
You know, worrying about catching the house on fire.
For this week only, save on candles, waxes, and wax warmers. Retail will be receiving 20% off. Wholesale will be receiving 15% off, and our distributors will be receiving 5% off. Use the codes listed here. Well, it's about that time to see who our winner will be for this week's Wheel of Profit. Let's see which wholesaler or distributor will be the winner of the mixture of our new Royal Treats with a value of $300. Dan, are you ready to get things going?
All right, I'm ready.
Let's do it. Let's spin the Wheel of Profit!
All right, let's spin that Wheel of Profit. Congratulations to Amber from Parrot University in Pineville, North Carolina. You just won $300 in our brand new Royal Treats. Back to you guys.
Next week's winner will be receiving 12 pumpkin bird safe candles, courtesy of Zach, just in time for the pumpkin season, along with 6 mixed wax warmers. That is a tongue twister. Right. 6 mixed wax warmers. Make sure you get your orders in this week so you can be entered in next week's Wheel of Profit. Thanks for coming on, Zach.
Well, thanks for having me.
I really appreciate it.
This
It was
was
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to keep up with the latest and greatest here at King's Cages. For King's Cages Network News, I'm Kim.
And I'm Zach.
And we'll speak to you soon. Say bye, guys.